Next article. We're going to switch gears here. We're going to talk a lot about Obama. I had somebody up there say that they thought that I was being like keen on Obama, almost like a racial thing, like because he's black. And I thought to myself, I don't care if the guy's red, green, orange, or yellow. I'm still going to expose him. I don't care about the color of his skin. I mean, give me a break. I did the same thing on Bush, except Bush hadn't done... I mean, Bush was bad, don't get me wrong. And I referred a lot of people to... there was an article that Cutting Edge had called The Fruits of Bush. I referred a lot of people to that article that exposed Bush, as well as I would have Clinton or whatever. But this is not about some racial thing on my part. It wouldn't matter what he looked like. The man needs to be exposed. And I understand he's a puppet on a string. I understand that. But he is the chief puppet by which they're implementing this evil. Okay? And again, prayer is the main thing. I'm not denying that at all. But people need to also be educated on how evil this regime, this administration is. It's unbelievable. Let's go further. This is from the Center for Individual Freedom. They said Barack Obama just invited the United Nations to join his ongoing fight against Arizona and dozens of other states attempting to enforce immigration laws that he refuses to enforce. So now Obama not only is suing Arizona for trying to enforce their immigration laws, but now he's trying to get the United Nations to help him. Unfortunately, you read that right. On August 20th, the United States, for the first time ever, submitted a 29-page Universal Periodic Review to the UN Human Rights Council, which outlines a laundry list of human rights abuses allegedly committed by the United States. So, he's such a traitorous little rat that he actually went to the United Nations, and it's like he wants to, reminds me of a little kid tattletaling on somebody. Oh, Mr. United Nations, look what we're doing. We're evil. We're wicked. You have to stop this. Because there's a lot of public outrage over the fact that... So he wants to get global government involved so they can enforce this stuff. This contained within that list of so-called abuses is a direct condemnation of SB 1070, the legislation enacted by the state of Arizona and supported by an overwhelming majority of American people, which seeks to do the job that the federal government has refused to do, which is secure the border. Specifically, the Obama administration wrote in the report, quote, a recent Arizona law, SB 1070, has generated significant attention and debate at home and around the world. The issue is being addressed in a court action that argues that the federal government has the authority to set and enforce immigration law. That action is ongoing. Parts of the law are currently enjoined. The submission of this UPR is the first step in the United Nations review process, which will culminate with an issuance of a plan of action approximately 90 days from now from a panel of UN bureaucrats from France, Japan, and Cameroon. Oh, I'm sure that whatever they say will be in our best interest. At that point, the United States would be expected to voluntarily comply with the panel's recommendations. But the UN Human Rights Council states on its website, quote, Human Rights Council will decide on the measures it would need to take in case of a persistent non-cooperation by the state. What does that imply? What are they going to do? Send in UN troops to force Arizona to comply? I can see them doing it. And this literally could be the start of overt UN control. I mean, I understand the UN controls a lot of stuff, but I'm talking about overt control, where it's like right out in the open, UN troops and these types of things. I honestly think that they picked the wrong issue to try to implement this, because there's enough public outrage over this issue that I believe there'll be serious resistance to this. Because this is so insane, what Obama's doing. I mean, it's just so insane on so many levels. We've reported on this almost weekly now. In short, Barack Obama has upped the ante. Not content with simply filing a frivolous federal lawsuit against the people of Arizona, Obama has transformed his amnesty feud with the American people into an international human rights case and effectively has placed the people of Arizona and other states that are considering similar border security bills under the jurisdiction of a gang of American-hating United Nations bureaucrats. Now, I give you a hyperlink that you can send. The problem is what I hate is when you have these organizations and they build you up and build you up and build you up, and then it's donate $50 now so we can, that happens a lot with these types of organizations. And I really have to question their motivation when you hear that. And this is like you can do like 530 faxes and there's all these different ones. Now, granted, if you're led to do that, that's fine. But I really wanted to give you the information so that you could pray about it and do that. But they go on here. It says you can use the hyperlink below to send urgent and personalized blast faxes to Republican, Democrat leaders. And again, I'm not advocating that. I'm just saying that this is what this says. Tell them in no uncertain terms that, and there's other ways you can contact them too. It doesn't cost any money. Tell them in uncertain terms that President Obama has gone too far and that his latest attempt to sick the United Nations on Arizona and the 22 other states considering similar immigration enforcement legislation and the people of the United States is an affront to our national sovereignty and cannot be tolerated. Tell them to stand up against President Obama and secure the borders now. So I wanted just to let you know that was going on there. He's really going. He's out of his mind. I understand he's taking orders, but man alive, you talk about no shame in his game.